Okay, favor. So Charlie Kirk died. Wow, that's insane. But I will say this. So I know a lot of people are sad. People like feel different things. Like even if you disagree with somebody, you don't have to kill them. Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, in Clue Game, as the Clue Game myself, like, is all about intellectual spars. If you want to intellectually spar, that's a great thing. You gotta be intellectually sparring. Hey, if a person could be wrong, but his confidence level could resonate with his concepts, could like resonate with people, and they'd be like, hey, but then again, I think I see some of his debates, and people couldn't really give him any good counterpoints or anything. You gotta really know your stuff. He's a man who knows his stuff, and unless you know your stuff, you won't be able to really engage with him really well. But despite his beliefs, obviously don't really fully agree with the man. Obviously, I guess only mostly conservative. I guess at some points that actually makes sense. I don't know. So I'm not fully against conservatism. I'm not fully against liberalism. Some of them, they both have some points that make sense, but then other points that's just like, okay, that's just belief. You just obviously just don't like it. It's as simple as that. But let's take it from here. So the man being shot. Okay, so it's like when you're an influencer, especially a big time influencer that gets into that kind of field, which is politics, because Charlie Kirk, he could actually have been on his way because of how much he knew. He could actually been on his way to become an actual politician if he really wanted to. He had enough influence and probably backing to do it. So when you're in that kind of field, unfortunately, there's always a person who's going to be willing to do you harm. Unfortunately, I know they are more. Yeah, I know y'all got y'all morals, but in reality, unfortunately, there's just always someone or some group that is willing to take things to a physical level. You know what I'm saying? Rather than a verbal one. And this is something that should be expected as coming with the job. You know what I'm saying? This is something to just be expected. Not saying don't feel how you feel about Charlie Kirk being shot. No, feel how you feel. Not saying not feel it. Not saying anything. Man didn't need to be shot. He just needed a really good person to counter him. You know what I'm saying? Counter him intellectually. So, and have enough big of a base. You got to build your base as well. You got to have base, sprawl for sprawl, intellectual sprawl. But despite all that, you always got to expect that there's always going to be someone who doesn't want to take things, who doesn't want to get intellectually. Listen, I've lived my life. I've debated with so many people, but there's so many people who don't take things to an intellectual level. They just eventually they cut off the intellectual part and then go straight to just being brainless or like saying dumb repeated phrases or just really stupid stuff. Trust me, I've debated too many people in my lifetime, and their brains just the intellectual, the points stop being made, and they just start thinking they're making points, but they're not. They're just talking nonsense. And then some people that they don't really talk nonsense, they just want to get physical. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It comes with these talks. Some people, they take it to a personal level, and I mean it is kind of personal. It tackles some areas maybe towards you, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, I've had times where people came at my personal stuff, and I've countered back with my knowledge and all that stuff. So, or I'd be like, no, I know I can do this. I know for certain. It's just that if you know yourself well enough, not much can really hurt you. Not much. I mean, stuff can hurt, but it not hurt you to the point where you feel like you need to really get angry. Like a person at my job, he counters me all the time, gets on my nerves about stuff when he thinking he's being intellectual, but he's not. You know, he's just talking about values, and I'm keep telling him, like, values are like something personal. Honestly, they're not really. I mean, yeah, they're shared by other people because other people probably have the same, you know, interests and takes. But like at the same time, like you're expressing your values as reality. Reality doesn't care about your values. Okay, it doesn't really care about your values, but you express these values to the world. So. But reality doesn't apply to that. So this is a whole thing. I get with a coworker at my job. Into a coworker at my job, and you know, there's times where I got angry, but not enough where it's like, if I'm actually thinking I'm getting angry to a point where I want to get physical, I'm like, nah, come on, it ain't all that deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Then my brain calms myself down, like, nah, dude, chill out. It's not that serious, man. We know I know who I am. I know what I'm about. It doesn't really matter what this guy think, honestly. So, same situation that you can apply to your own life. Fortunately, there's some people who's not capable of doing that. I don't know why. I'm not a psychologist. I mean, I want to get more into psychology, the more better try to understand, so we can understand how to counter these thoughts. When it comes to that, and people stop undermining mental checks and psychology. Stop it, please. They are very important. If we understand this more, we'll be able to handle people more and actually calm them down. Believe it or not, calm down. I mean, people don't calm down from getting too serious about something because like it was getting a little too hyped up, and then they really need to get hyped up. Only because I understand some level of psychology and how people think and all that. So even now, like I'm saying, well, like I know what I'm saying when I'm saying that it comes with the job. People might think I'm like undermining the situation, like you shouldn't. People might think I'm saying you shouldn't feel upset about it because this comes with the job. No, I'm not saying that at all. And by me letting you know that I'm not saying that will possibly calm you down, because like that's not what I'm trying to say, and you understand this. Like now you're like, oh, that's how you're saying. You're saying I should feel what I feel. Think, all right, you know, it's like, it is what it is, you know. It comes with the job, and as well as, you know, you got people out there who wants to just, you know, they just do these, they can't control themselves, and we need to be more understanding psychology, so we can probably address these people. Be like, yo, you don't gotta take it there. Listen, you know, you don't gotta take it there. So, unfortunately. And because this is something that comes with the job, you know, somebody might say like, oh, well, should we not talk about? No, you should get out there and talk about what you stand for, what you believe in. Keep doing it. There's many speakers that kept doing it, and they've been killed because of it. Some people called them like the next Martin Luther King, but like, I wouldn't say that, but okay. That was more like racial oriented, and Charlie Kirk wasn't doing anything more racial driven. Alright, let's not get into those factors, people. Keep the race out of it. Don't compare him to Martin Luther King. No, Martin Luther King was just a man who preached about stuff dealing with black people and the segregation at the time and the fight for civil rights. Okay, that you know, that helped us, you know, somewhat calm the racism down, but not entirely. But this is, you know, this is not a race thing. When Charlie Kirk is just a conservative who's advocating for like conservative values, like, okay, like basically wants you to like can't be the opposite gender, stuff like that, saying like that. And then he said like stuff like, this is like a lot of stuff. I never really much watched the guy. I know he was the creator of Turning Point USA, right along with, I think, Candace Owens. And that's about it. I never really watched the guy, to be honest. I got an idea of what stuff he probably talked about, but I was never really interested in watching this guy. I saw like a lot of Ben Shapiro and stuff like that. And I saw Candace Owens talks and all that. But Charlie Kirk, and I really got into the guy. Never really knew he was out there like that. I thought he was just more in the deal on Turning Point USA. I did see some videos where the college one, where he was going to debate with a bunch of college students, and I never watched it. Might watch some of his videos now, since I haven't really seen him like that. Take a look, see what he says in these videos. Maybe, see, even him dying, because his works is still out there, and he's such a known. I'm about to even look into it. See, his message doesn't die. In so many words, he's been immortalized. Now, not more than many people know about him, and now people who didn't probably know about him now know about him because of how much of news coverage it was on him, and now they might even look into his videos and all that. Now, you see, some people think killing means you're stopping the person, but no, sometimes if this person was well known, you don't really stop the person. They actually become more known after they die. It's like some things with some pop stars, they become more known after they die, or more known if like their songs become very widely used during a time where people just decide to use their song a lot. It's people, man. I want y'all to understand one thing. Since I'm a Kulukadian anarchist values, people build the basis of the individual. Of a well-known individual. People build that basis. The individual does not become well-known unless there's other people there to know this person and talk about this person. And this is the anarchy, baby. This is where the anarchy comes. It's like even the speech alone, spreading of the word, spreading of words. This is how people become well known. That's how Charlie Kirk become well known. And now that he died, he's still he's even more well known across the whole country now. If you ain't even know who he was, now you know. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just oblivious, you don't watch nothing pertaining to news or on social media whatsoever. Which probably Amish, but I'm even sure Amish be in our society selling stuff from their farms, so I'm pretty sure they know about Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk, man. Yeah, man. Died preaching what he believed in, So honestly, to be honest, that's honorable, honestly. I mean, he probably knew it came with the job. He probably knew death was always on the door. I mean, if you don't know, well, people, if you're going to get into that kind of life where you're going to be out there talking, spreading your word, there was even I think it was even a medical guy. He was talking about all this herbal stuff and everything. I don't really know the name of that guy, but he would take people to his land. They would come back cured because he was talking about the medical field and all that, about what they not really telling you about how easily curable a lot of things are. Like cancer, I think will go there and come back and cure it and stuff. So, and he got killed. That man got killed. So, but he still kept out there touring, telling people his works and all that. They even got his book out there on Amazon somewhere, and some of his medicine recipes and all that. So, same thing with Charlie Kirk. He was out there preaching what he believed in, telling people, what he thought and how his stances on certain things in society. And hey, he died, still doing it. So this is something that comes with the job, people. Get it? So if you're gonna get out there and do this, understand that some people are just gonna get physical. Don't be afraid. Be like either up your security or just understand that one day somebody will probably do something just because of what you're talking about, what you're preaching about, just because they don't agree with you, and understand that this day will come. Even I tell people that when I really take off and do what I really want to do, which is like I want to give people tours when I get land, I want to give people tours on that land and show them like different ways of making themselves very self-sufficient to the point where you're recycling almost everything. You really have to make money to spend money. Just me alone exploiting that against a capitalistic system, which we got really greedy high top people that just want to make money, they will pay for somebody to offer me. Trust me, they will. And I know this. And I'm still willing to do this regardless. I'm not going to live forever regardless. So why should I not fight for what I stand for? Spread the word out there to other people and actually follow through on my mission. Lately, I've been stumbling my little stumps in the road, but eventually I will get back on track. Right. I already know myself. I will get back on track. I will do what I gotta do, and I will be out there telling people the different ways of self-sufficiency and how to live and all that. I'm already kind of putting it out there with some shorts, showing people how to distill their own water, how to make their own filter. I'll have to actually rebuild that filter because I had to rebuild it. But at the same time, I need a new distiller at the same time because the distiller I got is I wish I knew how to do welding. If I knew how to do welding properly, and like smithing, I'll be making my own pots and everything. So, my own distilling pots and all that. And there you have it, people. Like, that's just the nature of the reality right there. I would be doing more. And I'm putting my word out there, but to individuals, who, are interested in knowing what I do and all that, what I'm about. I'm still putting the word out there. I'm doing my own thing. I was collecting water for a minute, but I got to figure out why my distiller keep having this weird smell. I think it's probably the oxidized copper mixing in with the smell of the liquid when it comes out, because steam absorbs more of the smell. But we'll talk about that another time. But that's Charlie Kirk. Man died doing what he stood. Man died preaching what he stood for. So, and this is something that's going to come. This is something that now normally comes with the job. A lot of presidents has faced this. A lot of influence. A lot of big time people, speakers and all that have faced this. Some actually didn't live through it. Never got to see another day after it. But at the same time, their message was still around. They become more well known as time goes on. It's a speech, It is what it is. A lot of people talking about Civil War and all that, and I'm like, nah. I mean, Civil War will be, but I don't think Charlie. When it comes to Charlie Kirk, that's not it. More like Civil War would happen if a lot of policies get passed, and then some people just gonna flat out refuse, like, nah, we're not doing that. All that. But Charlie Kirk dying, being shot, it's not the spark for the Civil War like people think it is. But I'm sure a lot of people are sad for him, even his family, because they were there. They had to see the man get shot. That's now a kid with trauma. And now we got another kid out there with trauma. And she might need to process that. And all that. Her father's now gone. Mother now widowed involuntarily. Or not. Nobody gets widowed voluntarily. What am I saying? So, but wife now widowed, because her husband was just shot right there. So, yeah. I guess may he rest in peace. Charlie Kirk. Put your message out there. And stuck around. Now more people are going to know about you. Yeah, I'm not really one to believe in the afterlife stuff like that. But I understand we are all pieces of the universe. Consciousness exists within the universe, so that means Charlie's consciousness is part of the universe. So, may you rest in peace. Signing out, y'all.